I'm gonna finish book 1 of Paradise Lost. I'm determined to finish book 1 today because I think it's the only time I'm really gonna be able to like really spend my time focusing on it. So that's what we're gonna read. I do go over the lines a few times sometimes, like especially if I don't understand like certain references and stuff, I will go to the back to read what it's about and then return to the text and read it again. You should be reading it slow. I deserve to give myself a reward. One of my punch cards is specifically for the 12 books of Paradise Lost, and I get to give myself a gold star for reading book 1. So satisfying. But I'm gonna answer these questions that were posed in the first newsletter that I got for the slow read. So I'm gonna go check those out. So I'm actually gonna be filling out these questions in my commonplace notebook where I started taking some notes and stuff. So I'm gonna just answer the questions in the back. I'm so sorry that the light keeps getting worse. It is so gloomy today and I'm just losing the light. I wanted to share some thoughts along the way. So the first thing I want to share is Paradise Lost is John Milton's epic poem that talks about the biblical story of the fallen man, centering around Adam and Eve, and basically getting kicked out of the Garden of Eden. Book 1 of Paradise Lost is about the fall of Satan, and Satan falling into hell and basically like grouping up his army of devils and kind of building the capital in hell. There is a lot of references and allusions in book 1, and it is actually one of the questions that was posed in the newsletter on how the density of the references and allusions impact my reading experience. Personally, for me, I'm reading this so much slower than I anticipate. I will say that I took the least amount of notes from page 16 onward because a lot of that was just like sort of the descriptive writing, and the descriptive writing in this is remarkable. It's actually really incredible. It's painting such vivid pictures for me as I'm reading this epic poem. Ended book 1 with this excitement of wanting to know what's going to come next, and wanting to read what's going to come next. There's so much originality in his writing, and there's so much originality in how he's telling the story. It's for a very interesting read overall, so I'm really enjoying this. I had one of those classic literature books that I've always wanted to read, and I've always found it very intimidating to read, but now that I'm reading it a lot slower and I'm taking my time with it, I realize it's not as scary as it seems. This is the end of book 1, and this is the end of my vlog. I'll be back in February where I'm going to be reading book 2 of Paradise Lost, and I can't wait to get into that portion, and I'll be keeping you guys updated with these little weekly videos.